Hey everybody, it's Mr. Carr again. Today we're going to talk about 12.2 day one. Now that we're done with surface area, we're talking about volume. So real quick, volume is the amount of three-dimensional space you take up. So you look at like any kind of a prism, you're adding up all the areas around the outside of it, including the two bases. Volume is going to be how much space do I take up? So in my three-dimensional space, how much is being taken up by, whatever object I'm dealing with. So two formulas today, and technically they're the same formula. So volume of a prism is a product of the area of the base and the height. So don't forget, when we define our base, so we look at this, even look at this image here, the base is the parallel and congruent polygons. So that's why we have a right triangular prism, because that is parallel and congruent to that. The base is not the bottom, it's the two shapes that are congruent to each other and parallel to each other. Height is the perpendicular distance. So in this case, this is my height. So this is what my formula looks like. It is area of the base times the height. Really straightforward. Okay, so when I look at this diagram here, my area of my base here is a triangle, so it's going to be 1/2 of 1 times 3. And then the height is 2. So multiply all that together, and I'm going to get 3. It's a really small one, actually. And in this case, here's the one. Oh, I don't know why I did surface area. Whoops. Thinking too much about the other videos. The volume, V, is equal to all of this. So since we've got into the third dimension now, our units are actually going to be cubic. So this is cubic feet. So the idea of a cubic inch or cubic foot, so if you think about a tiny little cube, let's say something like a dice, okay? So you look at that, let's say that is a 1 inch by 1 inch by 1 inch. That's the amount of space that a 1 cubic inch takes up. So if I take that and start stacking them inside of this, then I get so many. So if I were to create a cubic foot, so it'd be like a 1 foot, 1 foot, 1 foot, this right triangular prism, there should be 3 of them that fit in there. They won't fit exactly like cubes. I have to cut them up and make them fit in there, but that's the idea. All right. Volume of a cylinder is actually the same exact formula. The volume of a cylinder is the product of the area of the base and the height. So again, I'm going to do area of the base times the height. But just like we did before, the area of the base is special because it's a circle. So it's pi r squared times the height. That's my slight modification I can do to the formula. So in this case, my radius is 5 and my height is 6. So just plug those in. So it's pi times 5 squared times 6. So that's going to give me 25 times 6 gives me 150 pi. And as I said before, that's my exact answer. My approximate is going to be me plugging that in. And I get 471.239. In this case, it's going to be cubic meters. And that's it. So two main ideas today. Volume is area of the base times the height. Doesn't matter if you're dealing with a prism or a cylinder, it's still the same idea. It's just a little bit special for a cylinder. The other main idea is that we are talking about a slightly different dimension. We're talking about cubic dimensions. So cubic meters, cubic feet, cubic inches, whatever it is. So try these couple of problems out on your own. Oh, and the cylinder on the next page as well. Okay, remember, here I have, well, it says honors, but it's still good to try out, a hexagonal prism. So the area of that base is going to be the 1/2 times the apothem times the perimeter. That one's a really good challenge. So let me help you out with a little bit with that. When you have a hexagon, at least, slight shortcut. If that side length is 7.5, so is the radius. So I can kind of draw this in here for my apothem. Okay, and then this is going to be half of the 7.5. So what is that going to be? That's going to be 3.75. So you can do Pythagorean theorem to find your apothem there. Okay, and then that one's a little bit more straightforward. Just make sure you use the correct radius because it's going to be half of this. So your radius is going to be 13.4. All right, So that's it for today. If you have any questions, please reach out, but there's really just the one formula. We'll get some more practice on our next couple of shapes, and you can guess what they're going to be. It's going to follow the same pattern as our surface area one. So, all right, everybody, take care.